Alright, what you see here is a Progress Lighting AirPro Hugger Ceiling Fan in 52 inches. I got this from Mark Wilson. It's basically a generic hugger fan that you see in the 80s and 90s, but in a more modern finish, basically. So that is the main reason why I got it from him. Also, I've been wanting one of these for quite some time. I want to say these are childhood fans, but they are kind of like preteen fans for me, like somewhat, or like I guess I don't know. But, yeah, I just tested it with the cherry side. I think this is the natural cherry side. I'm not sure, but yeah. So here it is. This fan might be the next fan I put in the kitchen if I end up taking down the Passport 2 in the and the Infinity, both of which are in bright brass finish. What I might do is when we get new couches for the living room that are going to be dark brown, I may take down both of those fans and put the black Infinity in the living room and this fan in the kitchen. So I might do that, I might not, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, of course I want to be using it with this side of the blade. I'd be using it with the red, darker side since it actually matches the rosewood on the Infinity. It's almost exactly the same, just a tiny bit different. So yeah, it's missing a little thing in the center of it that covers up the little thing where you put the lake in and such, but not a big deal. So yeah, I do like how it looks like with this side of the blades finished, but only because what I like about it is it makes it even it looks even more like a modern fan because this blade finish is more, you see it more on modern fans and such compared to the other finish. The other finish you see was around a lot longer. So yeah, but it really makes it like stand out even more as like a vintage looking fan, but that's been modernized. That's what I like about this finish. But, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start off on low speed. Just gonna upload this maybe probably tomorrow, and I'll try to get a video of it tomorrow to wait. And if not, I might just upload some videos I did at just work tomorrow if there's anything new that comes in. Somebody's playing with some bottles outside. It's moving good here on low speed. This fan is definitely, I feel like it's a bit overpriced and it's really just a generic fan. But it definitely is a very powerful. It's definitely not like a cheaply made fan. Like it does perform pretty well. That's really all I can say. I don't know. I mean, probably from what I know, isn't a bad brand, but I can't say it's like the highest quality brand out there. But then again, I don't really know too much about the company. But for this being the first fan I tested from them, it's actually really. I'm actually pretty amazed. It's supposed to be like a very one of their like lower end models, I guess. But yeah. I mean, I'd assume this is like a lower end model, I guess, because like it's just a generic looking fan. So yeah, it's moving good on low speeds. And yeah, this fan I can definitely see it's very similar to like Hunter air movement. So it's definitely a pretty good air mover. Okay, let's go ahead and move the fan up to medium. And I will be getting a plug to connect the wires to later on this week, since this isn't really the best way to foretest them, but for now this is really the only way I can do it. Yeah, one of the Williams did get a tiny bit bent when I was swapping them to the other side. So yeah. At work they if there's like an electronic thing that they can't sell because it's in really bad shape. They'll just cut off the plugs and they keep them, and I don't know what to do with them. I know they have to use them for something, so they did say I could take one to use, but I just haven't picked it up yet. So keep forgetting to grab one before I clock out. So yeah, just so it's safer. One reason why I might install this in the kitchen also because it's flush. It's a hugger fan. I feel like it wouldn't wobble too much compared to the Passport 2. This one might wobble a bit too. Who knows? But Passport 2 definitely does have a bit of a wobble on high speed. It's nothing major. Well, it's a decent wobble, I guess. But yeah. It's funny because the Passport 2 does make somewhat of a sound on a high speed when it wobbles. And it's been doing it ever since we moved it in here, into this place, which it's about to be a year now that I moved here. So, yeah. And my mom just noticed it like a few days ago, like, well, oh, she got scared that it was making so much noise. And I'm like, it's been doing that since we first put it up. And she's like, oh, I never noticed. So, yeah, it's moving good on medium speed as well. If I'll say this much, because I do know that they make these in white. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a white version, but I prefer to have it brushed nickel because I feel like that's not something you'd see often. A white one I'd get, but there's already so many companies that have one that have mono oak just like this in white. Have been around for years, so I prefer to get it from a different company. Maybe like the Emerson Snugger or something, but yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and move the fan up to high speed. This fan definitely moves a very good amount of air on high speed. It wouldn't be like something that I could say, oh, it's just something to move around air. This one definitely would like do a good job cooling down the kitchen when it's hot. Definitely gotta thank Mark Wilson for selling me this. I know he did spend a decent amount on this fan, especially with the light kit it came with. So, but I'm definitely gonna pay him back. He only charged me $30 for it, but I feel bad spending that just very little on this fan since it cost him quite a bit. So I'm just gonna be getting him 2 KDKs whenever I can, a brown one and a newer version of the brown one and the newer version of the white one. And I'll try to get him an older version of the brown one whenever I find one to make up for this one. So yeah. Yep, this fan definitely moves a good amount of air on high speed. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and shut it off and do a spin down. Spin down on this fan isn't that long, so it's kind of surprising because I know Mark Wilson did use this for like a year or two. I mean, he replaced this when he bought this fan to replace his 42-inch low profile, which I now have as well. This honestly would look very nice in a modern kitchen. That's like why I bought this, because my kitchen in this apartment is pretty modern looking. Yeah. In fact, maybe there was like a wire that was like rubbing against the motor yesterday that could have stopped it, made it stop pretty quickly, but we'll see if it stops quickly today as well. Yep, it has a quick spin down as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and reverse it. Here's the no reverse. Right, here's medium reverse. That was a good job on reverse as well. Alright, now for a high reverse. Hopefully it doesn't move on its own this time like it did yesterday. That's why I have the cord underneath it a bit. Yeah, but it does a good job on reverse high as well. Alright, let me go ahead and shut it off. And that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.